So you've been here since pretty much the beginning?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about it?
It's pretty fucking awesome. I wouldn't have, stayed here if I didn't like where it was going and what it was doing.
So what's your experience been so far?
I think so far, like, more than anything, my experience has been, like, it really fucking sheds a lot of light on, like, sociology and just, like, the human condition and, like, just by going here and, like, seeing what elements of our society works and what elements of our society doesn't work, like, it really lets us know, like, exactly why our country and our economy is going through the problems it's going through, because to a smaller extent you see all the problems that led to all this mess in the camps, but you also see what works and what doesn't. It's sort of like it breaks down society like a smaller scale, so you can actually examine it and figure it out.
Through your experiences here and through talking to people, I imagine there's a lot of dialogue that goes about. Have you heard anybody propose like a solution where you've been like, wow, that's something that like is totally possible and we feel like that could actually really change the direction of this?
A solution to what?
A solution either generally to like the larger economic issues or, locally in terms of keeping, the encampment going. Either or.
I mean, I've heard a lot of brilliant, solutions and a lot of brilliant proposals on what direction to move the camp and what we can do to make it more permanent occupation. But the problem is that, like, a good idea doesn't necessarily translate to results. Because it's a good idea and it gets shot down by the General Assembly, that doesn't mean anything. If it's a good idea and it gets voted through and people don't carry through on it, or if it's done poorly, like the occupation of that building when, a while ago, when the second time the cops came, like, that was a brilliant idea. It's just that we fucked it up and we did it in a way that got the cops there. If we had occupied that building, if we had gotten that to a permanent solution, we'd fucking still be there. That would have been the fucking permanent spot.
Yeah. Well, do you think the Occupy movement should remain more of a localized community, or do you think that it should adapt and really try to maintain like a really solid network nationally?
Well, ideally, if the occupation takes off like it's supposed to, and if it gets the country and the community involved like it's supposed to, it'll get to an extent where our numbers are going to be big enough that we won't have to worry about that. We'll have, the strong centralized Occupy Oakland, Occupy this, and we'll also have Occupy the Hoods, and we'll also have local, If this takes off like it's supposed to, we'll have such a large percentage of the American population involved in this movement that literally every level you can imagine will have its own occupation. There will be people involved at every level.
In terms of people who are looking to get involved in this sort of thing, we were just up in Sebastopol. We think it's kind of funny that there's like an Occupy Sebastopol, and there are like 10 people there.
That's what I thought.
Do you think those kind of movements are counterproductive, or do you think that those people should remain where they are, or should they join the larger movement?
They should stay there, and like I know it for a fact because like when I went up to Davis a while ago, I saw Occupy Davis, and I go by, and there's like 4 tents. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Davis has a fucking occupation? Like, this is a joke. 2 days later, they get fucking raided, and they're the big fucking news. So it's like these little occupations of 10 people don't do anything. They're useless up to the point that the cops come and tear gas them and pepper spray them and kick the shit out of them.
And then it shows.
And then it's another fucking occupation. The more occupations we have, and even if it's just a few people who are willing to stand there and get the shit kicked out of them by the cops, the fucking quicker we can send the message to the American public that this is an isolated. The general police response to this occupation movement is violence,
Well, what do you want to get out of it? Like, in terms of larger goals for the movement on the local and the national level, like, where do you want it to go?
I want Occupy Oakland to go somewhere where we can, and I think we've already more or less accomplished that, but just keep going to the fact that we can show that this is the first large-scale populist, movement in Oakland gathering that's not going to turn into a riot. You know what I mean? There was no Oscar Grant protest that turned to Oscar Grant riot. Every time there's something in Oakland that's big that kicks off like we did, it always turns into a riot because police all decided that way. And this is showing Oakland like, holy shit, we can have a large-scale peaceful movement and not have to break fucking windows and not have to light shit on fire.
Yeah. Well, how are you personally contributing to the movement here locally?
When I first got here, I was doing security and mediation. So I've been doing security and mediation throughout the whole thing. So that's useful too, because when shit starts off and you have 2 people pulling knives on each other, you need a security team that's willing to go and be like, hey guys, I need to talk to you.
Has that stuff kind of been happening since the beginning?
In really small fucking doses. So other than that, so it's like when you're doing security or like mediation or peacekeeping out here, it's 99% of the day you're not doing anything in relation to that. It's just so like other than that, like not just me, but mostly everyone from security is like kind of taken on themselves to be general helpers. You know, anytime you see somebody
Yeah.
in the kitchen in need of help, you help them. Anytime you see somebody needing help put up a tent, you do that. You know, sort of like a peacekeeping team.
It's kind of a microcosm of how society should be operating, isn't it?
Yeah, like a welcoming committee.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, thanks a lot.
Hell yeah, man.
Appreciate it. My name's Christopher.
I'm Luke.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.